So I have a friend at work and she keeps encouraging me to post stuff. You know who you are. So on that note, I thought of sharing with you something that's been going on in my life recently, which is, wait, let me see, can I switch this? Probably not. But perhaps you can see these guys. Wait, that's better. Yeah, these guys. My new friends. Well, that's, So, yeah, I've just been having so many like these little fruit fly type flies in my room all of a sudden. I mean, it's there in the house as well. But yeah, it's been like the first few days I've felt so icky and very frustrated and very irritating, like just it's not like they bite you or anything, but they're just like flying and hovering around and just like multiplying out of nowhere. And that's actually a trap that I set. So it's got apple cider vinegar and soap and water. And so I had to set a trap for them. And then I was like, oh, I want to try and see them as friends as well. Because, Vasudev Kutumba. And, these flies have left me with some lessons as well. Interesting. So one thing that they taught me is that, well, over here, fly represents something or someone who's irritating or frustrating or difficult to deal with. And, so it could be a person, it could be a circumstance, a situation, whatever. So once you befriend them and once you think of them as your friend, your annoying, irritating friend, the way you experience a situation changes. The way I was experiencing the flies, like all of a sudden they were not as like bothering me as much. I still felt like, oh, they're here, but I wasn't as bothered by them. And another thing that, so on the surface, okay, so that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is that when their numbers started decreasing, it automatically started getting easier to see them as friends, which is very obvious, like we feel like, oh, I can be friends with even some other person. This person is better than the person I have in my life right now. It's because you're living with the humans, you're living with the people in your life right now. So obviously they'll get on your nerves. When there is some distance, that's the rahasyam that I'm coming to. When there is a bit of distance, then all of a sudden it doesn't bother us as much. So it became easier to befriend the flies when there was a bit of distance, when, their quantity decreased, when, they were slightly further away from me and not just hovering over me. So it became easier to have that friend bhav towards them. And that is the rahasyam. Distance. And that is something, well, it's not exactly a rahasyam. It's you know it already. I'm not telling you anything new, but it's I guess it's good to be reminded. I like getting reminders sometimes in all these forms, and hopefully this is a helpful reminder for you as well. So as Sadhguru also says, a little bit of distance with BMW, as in body, mind, world. So when that little bit of distance gets created between what's me and what's the situation around me, what my body is, my mind is, the world is, all of a sudden there is some kind of clarity that dawns on you. It's like if you have a friend or a loved one going through, or any person going through something, in that situation they are so absolutely absorbed and immersed and they're not seeing the big picture. They are just focused on a very zoomed in part of the situation. And when you, as a listener, the third person, you are more detached and more distant from that very situation that, the person is going through. So you can offer insight and clarity that the person who's going through the situation, the person who's zoomed into it, might not be able to see. So I think that is the rahasya, that we have to remember to maintain that distance with BMW. So when you're in a situation and everything is really overwhelming and frustrating and you really don't know what to do, just remind yourself of the distance and how to do that. I think you might be able to guess this one. I would say play in Rasa and Leela. Just look at everything, experience everything as Leela. And then Leela means play. So, and then once you experience things in a playful way, and once you see everything as play, as Leela, all of a sudden it all gets better. And, yeah, it just gets easier to see to experience the distance, to create that distance, and to not feel so bothered by the flies, literal or metaphoric. I hope this helps. Also, on a completely different note, I got a request to do a chocolate review. So maybe coming up next in 2-3 weeks' time is a chocolate review.